Well, let's move on to other news now. And France has a new Prime Minister. Well, the French President Emmanuel Macron, who was seeking to breathe new life into his second term, or second mandate rather, ahead of the European Parliament elections, has appointed Gabriel Attal as his Prime Minister. The 34-year-old Education Minister Gabriel Attal is set to become the youngest Prime Minister of France. Attal, who is known as Macron's ally, became a household name as government spokesperson during the pandemic. Putting his faith in Gabriel, Emmanuel Macron has said that he can count on his energy and commitment. Attal will succeed Elisabeth Borne, who resigned on Monday after days of intense behind-the-scenes maneuvering. Macron's move will not necessarily lead to any major political shift in the country. However, the state media reports that Macron's step signals his desire to move beyond last year's unpopular pension and immigration reforms. Clearly, so Emmanuel Macron putting his faith in this young man, the 34-year-old Education Minister Gabriel Attal, who is now set to become the youngest Prime Minister of France, replacing the earlier Prime Minister, and as we said, became a household name during the COVID pandemic, and is considered a close ally of Emmanuel Macron, who is the French president. And this is all ahead of course, the European Union elections, and this is to set a new reset rather his cabinet ahead of that, and also shrug off some of the politically controversial decisions that the French president took last year with this new cabinet reshuffle. And Ross Cullen is now joining us live from Paris with the very latest on this. And Ross, tell us more about this cabinet reshuffle and the man who is now going to be the youngest Prime Minister of France.
Yeah, Gabriel Attal, 34 years old. He was the Education Secretary until today, when Emmanuel Macron released a statement just in the last hour or so saying that Gabriel Attal has been named as the new French Prime Minister, and it is now up to him to form a new government. So there are likely to be positional ministerial reshuffles taking place over the coming days. But Gabriel Attal, to start with, will have the formal introduction at the Matignon, that is the Prime Minister's office and residence here in Paris, after he's been to see Emmanuel Macron, and he replaces Elisabeth Borne, the 62-year-old former Prime Minister, in post since May 2022. But Emmanuel Macron believing that the time is right for a reshuffle to try to revamp his agenda and re-energise his presidency after a series of controversies surrounding pension reform policies and immigration policies last year.
Right, Ross, thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest on that cabinet reshuffle and the announcement of the new Prime Minister.